COVID-19. Like, unless it's a murder or suicide, or even if you had something like a heart attack or whatever it's saying right now, that they're still putting down that coronavirus.
Yeah, bro, that shit is crazy.
So that shit's crazy. So we're going to talk about that. Spike Lee, Bill Cosby's situation going on, though, man. Get into that bag. Adele having to pay her husband $140 million. Yay, men.
Yo. Yo.
I don't know if y'all heard about the AMC theaters possibly closing down.
I did.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll kind of just maybe get into that. You know what I'm saying, though? And Mississippi State coach Mike Leach is in hot water over some racist tweets.
Mike Lynch. Mike Lynch.
Mike Lynch. Leach and Lynch, they both fit. They both fucking fit right there, though, man. We're gonna get into the Garnett bag and see, he's on Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him, though. But is he top 25? You know what I'm saying, though? Maybe 10 years before then, it was kind of like an easy top 25. But with KD, LeBron, and Steph, and Westbrook, and these other players that have kind of came on, is he still in that top 25 though? Was he ever in your top 25? And then most overrated, underrated time in the NBA, and then do what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Going to freestyle, whatever though. I'm saying though with some other topic before we go ahead and peek out. So yeah, man.
Okay. All right, cool. So are we gonna break up the topics? Like we're gonna do some this show and then some next show?
Oh yeah. How
like
we gonna rock it, man? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So y'all want to start with? I want to start with the coronavirus joint.
Yeah, man. Let's
knock this shit out the way because this shit. Everybody talking about this shit. We ain't here for this corona. We gotta be responsible journalists and content creators and speak on it at least a little bit, and then we get to the shits, man.
Before I start with that, though, I just want to go say rest in peace to my aunt Georgianne. Georgianne, she's still going by Treywick. Yeah, man, she just passed away today, though, man, age of 64. So I want to go ahead and say rest in peace, though, man. And you with grandma right now. So rest in peace.
Right. Condolences and prayers to the fam, man. Facts.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, man, live your life to the fullest, y'all.
Absolutely.
To the fullest. But yeah, man, with the shits here. Here's a report by the New York Post. The federal government is classifying the deaths of patients infected with coronavirus as COVID-19 deaths, regardless of any underlying health issues that could have contributed to the loss of someone's life. Dr. Deborah Birx, the response coordinator for the White House Coronavirus Task Force, said the federal government is continuing to count the suspected COVID-19 deaths, despite other nations doing the opposite. So I kind of just want to get y'all thoughts on like you know what I'm saying, though, like obviously we know about people that die coronavirus and things of that nature. Do y'all kind of think that this is kind of some shady shit? Like, all right, there's people dying from coronavirus, but there's people that's dying from heart attack. There's people dying from diabetes, people dying from other diseases, and y'all just adding this in. Is just to go ahead and keep people aware, or just to go ahead and they own their bullshit and go ahead and instill the fear? What are y'all thoughts?
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Chuck.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying you answered you got the answer in the question. Like, we know what it is, man. It's funny. I saw a meme, right, about how it was about wrestling and how, like, the older you get, to realize the faker it is, so you become less of a fan. And it's not, and they're saying, like, now you starting to see this shit with the government.
Right.
Like, if anything, all of this shit, if we really sit back, not be depressed, not get discouraged, right? Not fall into the trap. All of this shit is a blessing in disguise, bro.
Okay.
You got time for your family.
Right.
You got time to do what you always put aside because you was too busy working.
Right.
You got time, especially if you're creative. You got time to finally work on that project you always wanted to do. You got time to really see the bullshit that the government is on.
Right.
Fam, they're blatantly telling you that no matter how you die, we're going to put the COVID-19 on that shit, period.
Right.
So you telling us y'all falsifying shit out the gate. And it's like, if you really not into if you really on your third eye shit, you can see this is all bullshit, man. And if you got to try to come out better than before when all this shit is said and done, so you won't be stuck in the same room.
But people want a TikTok though.
Hey man, peace and love to them. I'm not a judger of man, even though we try not to be. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna do what I do.
I'm not knocking fun though, but that's what people are like.
No, you right. That's facts. You got a president who every time he goes to the public to speak on this shit, he looks stupider and stupider. Yeah, I said stupider, and I'm not changing it. Like, fam, like it's just amazing to me. Nigga, where's the stimulus package that y'all been promising? Yeah, you see how all the other countries is handling this shit, but we supposed to be the big bad America, the most dominant country in the world, and we look like fucking like we took classes with no windows in them and we sat on the short bus. Yeah, that's how we look right now. Right. Everybody that been through this overseas are basically good. They're on the end of it. It only took them about a few months, however many days. These motherfuckers is taking a sweet time just because they can, and just because whatever money they got in these pharmaceuticals, they getting bread off of. They're robbing us not only of our money, but of our lives. And it's blatant in front of our fucking face. Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. This is nuts. Like, y'all not ready to revolt yet, nigga? Like, come on, man. Like, what is it gonna take, nigga? Let me stop.
We just gotta get Trump out of office. Really, that's his solution.
And replace him with who? Right. And it's funny, you know. The funny thing is some folks that I wish we could conversate with them without folks getting so uppity. I wish we could have a conversation about voting without people taking shit, because I really want to understand. Now it's all about the lesser of two evils, just like it was last voting. Last time it was time to
vote before that. No election before that.
Elizabeth Warren, she's gone. Right. Joe Biden, not Joe Biden.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
He's gone a fucking again. So now it's basically going to be between Trump and Joe Biden, and that's even if it gets to that. Because now this nigga Trump talking about, yo, he might surrender all student loans. If he do that shit, this motherfucker definitely he coming back. Right. So I'm saying all that to say to the people that be like, yo, if you don't vote, you ain't got a right to talk. Our ancestors died for voting, which is not true because they didn't die for just that. But anyway,
right.
What is the difference between picking the lesser of two evils? Like, that's what we're doing now. How is picking the lesser of an evil, even though when they're both evil, how does that fucking help us?
Right.
How?
Right. Because some of my ancestors like Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Don't tell me all my ancestors want to vote. Some of them was like, no, fuck that shit.
My ancestor Marcus Garvey was trying to take us back to Africa on some king and queen shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? My ancestor Fred Hampton was trying to bring us together, and they saw that shit. And he actually had some white people on his side, and they murked him for that because they realized how powerful this man could be at fucking 20 years old.
Right. And the ancestors that did go for it, my ancestors, you know what? My ancestors were lied to. Mm-hmm. So they died under the guise of a lie. But Chuck, man, I want to get your thoughts, man, on the whole situation, man.
Man.
You need to sit up.
Well, I'm gonna say ditto everything Pete said. Ditto everything Pete said. Ditto. So there is about 1.7 million supposed cases of COVID. 101 supposed 1,000 deaths. So that percentage is about 0.06. Right now, I'm not making light of anybody dying.
Right.
But I'm saying when you're talking about a death rate of 0.06, for them to shut down the entire world for a 0.06 death rate, right? You got to start asking questions. Like, I'm not even saying like just ask questions. And the issue that I have is that when you start asking these questions, the first thing that comes to mind is we're conspiracy theorists. No, we're the fuck not. We're thinkers. We're independent thinkers, right? We're not believing the bullshit the media is feeding us, right? And again, it's my belief that this is a cover up for 5G. That's my belief. Wuhan, China was the first place to roll out 5G full-fledged around October of 2019. That's when we started seeing cases of the supposed COVID. one of the cell phone manufacturers for Android is about 12 hours from China, right? And one of the big major cell phone manufacturers for Android is about 12 hours from Wuhan, right? So you start connecting all these dots, and you start asking questions. When you read about Agenda 21, which is a UN plans for, and they call it sustainable development, they're talking about creating a one world government, a new world order, right? With everybody now working from home, now is going to slow the internet down. Mm-hmm. What's the solution? 5G. Mm. So I'm saying, like all this shit is in my mind just connection. Okay, everybody's working from home. We get a lot of complaints that shit is slow. Let's roll out 5G. Boom, you got 5G. Right. My question is, what the fuck is wrong with 4G? 4G is fine. Why the fuck do I need to have download speeds 100 times faster than what I have now? I'm good. Like I have no complaints now.
Right.
But when you have when your number one priority as an elite is profit, right, over anything else, that's what it is. What it is. I saw a post on Twitter, and the guy made a valid point. He said he noticed during a press conference that none of the people giving the press conference are doing social distancing. Like they're all near each other.
And they don't have no mask, nothing.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, man. Like these devils out here, man. This fucking devils out here, man. Yeah, man. So I would say in reference to 5G, I know I posted into the chat about 5G. Like, there's not much we can do personally to stop it. One thing that we can do is make sure our immune systems are built up. Because with the 5G shit, the radiation and all that shit, it's going to be a lot on the body. But and I need to do more research on this. But I think us having higher amounts of melanin is a buffer for us, because melanin is a conductor.
Right.
So when we're hit with the radiation frequencies, it's going to hit the melanin first, and the melanin is going to convert that into a different form of energy. Right? It may not be 100%, but because we have a deeper level of melanin, we have an extra layer of buffer. So when they talk about all these African Americans dying from COVID, that's bullshit, man. I don't believe it one bit. I don't believe it one bit. Right? And of course, Kill Gates is his bruh. The crazy thing is, I used to look up to Bill Gates. Like, I mean, like, this nigga found a micro. I'm like, okay, that's cool. The nigga but then I started figuring out what the nigga was into.
Right.
This nigga's a demon. Got fuck out of here, right?
Right.
Talking about reducing world population.
And where did he first start at when he started his project? Africa.
Bruh.
It was Africa?
Yeah, that's where he first started. When he started doing his humanitarian efforts, it started in Africa.
I knew he was there, but I didn't know it started. Damn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. His vaccine shit was in Africa. He started vaccinating all the South African kids. Bro, this nigga's agenda is to depopulate the entire world. And he's trying to, I don't know if you remember that video clip I played, and she's trying to make it sound real, real scientific-y. But if you put back the onion, that's what the nigga wants to do. And people don't see that. And it's bothersome, man. It is, man.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think they're putting out the attachment to the coronavirus and 5G, so that those of us that speak about 5G and its effects, regardless if it's connected to coronavirus or not, would sound like complete loons.
Of course.
So it's like, what we say, hey, 5G, man, that shit going, what's the name though, man? This shit cause no coronavirus, man. You know what you're talking about. So now we're just having this conversation instead like you said, well, okay, 5G is not good.
Right.
But you like said before, you sound like a complete loon, especially if you're not completely educated
right
on it. But just on a novice level, you go, this much radiation shouldn't be near your body.
No, I definitely
right.
Shouldn't.
You know what I mean? And so, it's just crazy though, man. In regards to this whole shit right here, it's like, they're literally telling you we don't give a fuck what the fuck he died from. We're putting down the virus.
Yep.
Putting it down.
That's the crazy part. Yeah.
That's some crazy. That's crazy.
That's fucking bad.
This is the New York Post. So for y'all out there that go, oh man, this is the New York. For y'all want credit because